So, my hubby and I's 1 year anniversary is coming up in a month, and it got me to start reflecting on my experience with having a courthouse wedding because I know this isn't something that is the traditional route, but it was something that was an absolutely perfect decision for me and my husband Louie, and I just thought it could be fun to talk about it. So, I'm sitting here with my double beverages, and I just thought it would be fun to kind of do a chatty kind of Q&A about our experience getting married at the courthouse, because I know when I was looking into this as an option, there wasn't a lot of information out there. I don't know if that's because people kind of feel like shame around the fact that they did a courthouse wedding, or if it was just wasn't popular. Like, I think that there is an expectation that when you get engaged, you are going to have about a year-long engagement, and then you are going to throw this big giant party with all of your friends and family. Well, we did not go that route. And one of the things that I value most is doing things that are in alignment with me and my values, and not just doing something because it's what I think I should do. And I think a lot of people feel pressured into having this big ceremony, this big party, and spending a ton of money on their wedding day. So yeah, let's talk about it. Let's talk about the experience. So when we got engaged, we had a super short engagement. So we got engaged last year, September 2024, at the Whitewater Center, which is a beautiful place here in North Carolina that was super special to us. It was just the two of us and our dog, and we had a photographer come, and I'll put some pictures up. It was an amazing proposal. It was so special. I loved my ring. I loved the speech that he gave me. And I felt so showered and loved. And it was the perfect private proposal for us. And we got married 2 months after that. So we had a very short engagement. But we were together for over 2 years, almost 2.5 years. At that point, we had already lived together. We already had a house together. We knew we were in it for life. It was just kind of, the formality of actually getting married. So that was the proposal. He did a great job. The pictures turned out great. I was so happy that we got to have our dog there. It was just really special. And obviously, once we got engaged, then we got to start talking about what do we want to do for our wedding. So a little bit of a backstory. My husband, he is from Australia. So his family is all in Australia, and my family is all in Minnesota, but we live in Charlotte, North Carolina. So we are kind of far away from all of our friends and family. Of course, we have our crew here in North Carolina, but no matter where we got married, it would be a destination wedding for a vast majority of the people there. So that was one thing that we took into consideration at first is, okay, so my initial thought was maybe we want to do an all-inclusive in Mexico and just have it kind of be a celebration with our closest family and friends. And we all just get together in one spot. We're in a beautiful location. We get to drink great drinks, have great food. Another thing, me and my husband don't drink. So there's another part of typical wedding that just wasn't going to be a part of ours. And we just started talking, what do we really want? What's important to us for our wedding day? And we had originally thought about maybe getting married in Mexico thing, having an all-inclusive wedding vacation like that. But we decided against it because it just felt like a lot to ask of our family and friends to pay for an all-inclusive resort for themselves and to travel all the way there. And we also wanted to have a short timeline. So we were ready to get married. We didn't want to, choose a date 2 years in the future so people could save up money so that they could afford to come to our wedding. That just wasn't something that we wanted. So at one point we had decided, let's rent out a mansion on Lake Norman, which is a beautiful lake that we have here in Charlotte. And let's just invite, I was going to have 2 of my closest friends. Louis was going to have his best friend and our parents and siblings. And that was basically going to be it. So we were going to do something super small and intimate. And then we started thinking about the logistics and everything for that. So we actually did rent a mansion. We picked a date. We did all of that. And then we got to thinking about it, and it was we were going to be playing host. It was still going to be so expensive, even to do something that small. And it just felt stressful. Neither of us were excited about the planning process of that. So we decided, we were like, you know what, let's pick a date, let's go to the courthouse, and let's do this, let's be married. We were so ready to be married. And that was the thing that we ultimately decided, was that we did not care about the wedding, we cared about the marriage. So what we ended up deciding was that we were going to do a courthouse wedding, and we were going to tell our friends and family that we reserved the right to have an actual ceremony, a big wedding later on. But it has been a year now, and I have absolutely zero regrets. There is no part of me that's like, I want to plan a wedding, I want to have a big celebration. I love being married. I have no regrets. I think it's been the best thing ever. I'm so happy that we decided to move quickly and just get married and make our wedding day be something that was really special and intimate and just about the two of us. So I have no regrets. I'm so happy that we did that. So let's talk about what the actual day was like. So we wanted it to just be super simple. We knew that since we had a really quick timeline. So funny story, when we were going to pick a date at the courthouse, there was one that I think was in like less than a week. And we were like, that feels a little bit too soon. So we actually looked for the next month. So we decided to pick a random Tuesday in November, because that was the first date. So it was either like we get married in a week or we get married in a month. And we decided to do the in a month, and we picked a Tuesday, November 19th, 2024. And we set the date. I think it was like 2 p.m. And we decided that that's what we were going to do. So we did not invite our family because it would have been just too hard for Louis' family to get here from Australia. And we didn't want to have just one side of our parents, because obviously my parents could have came here from Minnesota. They did actually end up coming a few days later because we left on our honeymoon and they watched our dog for us, which was amazing. But yeah, we didn't want it to be unfair and have one side of the family there and one side of the family not. Same thing with like best friends. Like my best friends could have made it, but his best friend is in Australia. So it would have been really hard for him to buy a ticket for a wedding that was in less than a month. And it was literally just going to be that day. So our plan was, we're going to get married and then we're going to leave on our honeymoon 2 days later. So it wouldn't have been like time for us to actually hang out with our families or to celebrate together or anything like that. We really wanted our wedding day to just be about us and just to be about our love. And that's exactly what it was. So we did not do anything where we stayed separately the night before or anything like that. We just slept at our house. We woke up in the morning. We went on a wonderful walk with our dog, just like we usually do. I think we both got a workout in. Like, it was truly just like every other day. I think we went and got some fancy coffees to make it just feel a little bit more elevated. We read our vows to each other right after we finished getting ready. My dress. I bought a dress from Amazon. Actually an amazing experience. I paid $60. I loved it. It was just like a short little, I'll put a picture up. It was like this. And I had a veil. I had these amazing like wedding white pumps. And it was such a simple day, and it was so us. I got ready all by myself in my room. We still did the first look, and then right after we did our first look, just the two of us, no cameras or anything, we read our vows to each other just in private, just the two of us again. Then we went downtown to go to the courthouse and to seal the deal officially. So you like have to walk through security. You do have two people who are your witnesses. So you do have two people who are your witnesses. So we just chose the couple that we are closest with here in Charlotte, and they met us at the courthouse. We're there for the ceremony. We just did the typical wedding vows that they say in person. Hold please. Need some coffee. Because we had already done our vows together in private, or like custom vows together in private. And then after we did the ceremony, so you literally you walk in through security, you go into a room with a judge. They basically say, hey, do you take Jackie to be your lawfully wedded wife? Do you take Louis to be your lawfully wedded husband? And you say, I do. We'd exchanged our rings and we were officially married. And it was just so simple, sweet, and amazing. And then we had our photographer who was there for the proposal actually take us to do another photo shoot like of us on our wedding day. So I had looked on Pinterest, obviously saw a lot of like Sex in the City chic, like kind of courthouse wedding pictures, which a lot of people do as like their engagement pictures, but I like took inspiration from that and I was like, this is so cute. I love it. I love just like the chicness of it. So we took a bunch of pictures and then we just wanted it to be simple. Like one of the best things about me and my husband's relationship is our everyday feels magical. Like we truly find the magic in the mundane. Like I love our everyday life. I love our simple routines. I love every single piece of that. And one thing that we decided to do on our wedding day was not go to some like super fancy restaurant. We actually went back home, we changed, I got into some comfier clothes, and we went to our favorite brewery. That is what we did for dinner. So if you're in the Charlotte area, Legion in South Park, so good. They have this amazing like Cobb salad. Love it. And we have gone there. We went there after we got engaged. We go there for basically every special occasion. It's not like a super fancy place by any means, but it is delicious and it always hits. So that's just all we wanted. So we went to a restaurant. I think we got dessert. And then we just came home and we got to enjoy the start of our married life before my parents came in. I don't remember if it was the next day or 2 days later. They came in and we got to hang out with them for a little bit before we left on our honeymoon to Cancun, which was also an amazing experience. But yeah, that was the experience that we had with our elopement. It was amazing. I would 10 out of 10 recommend it if it's something that you have been considering. I love being married. I love that our wedding day got to be about us two. It was so special and I have zero regrets about it. We just put a big payment on our house, which we probably would not have been able to do had we instead chosen to spend that money on our wedding, which that wasn't even like the biggest reason for us. It was honestly just like, we didn't want it. That didn't feel aligned for us. That was not something that either of us were excited about. It felt like too much work, too much money, too much effort to put into something that just we weren't excited about. We were excited about the marriage. So for us, a courthouse ceremony was perfect. If it is something that you are considering, I would say absolutely go for it. Do what we did and tell your friends and family that maybe in the future you'd want to have an actual wedding celebration and no one's going to treat it any differently. Like I am having a bachelorette party kind of in February, even though I've already been married for a year. Like you don't have to do things the traditional way. That's my motto in life is like, you don't have to do something a certain way just because everyone else has done it that way. I am someone who I know my values. I know what's important to me and I'm going to make decisions based on that, not based on other people's perception of me or what other people tell me I should be doing. So I'm just so happy that I have a husband who loves and respects that and who decided that he didn't value a big old wedding party either. That was just something that was really special for us and I would highly recommend if you're considering it. So if this is your first time on my channel, my name is Jackie and I post all about how to thrive in your 30s. I just am in the process of creating a life that I am obsessed with and I'm trying so many different things. I love personal development. I love mindfulness. I love all of these things. And I just truly want to create a life that I love. And I want to chase after my dreams. I want to be someone who does not have it all figured out yet, but who brings you along the journey as I figure it out. So if that's something that resonates with you, I would love it if you liked, subscribed. If you have any questions about our elopement process or anything like that, please leave it down in the comments. I am an open book. Yeah, that's all I got for you. So thank you so much for watching. I hope that if you were considering doing elopement, this maybe just gave you a little bit more of a permission slip that you needed, that you too can do this. And yeah, I just want you to feel inspired to live a life that's in alignment with your values, not what other people think you should do. That's all I got for you today. So I hope you have the best day. Thanks for watching.